So we need to focus on something different. Focus on something more important, and that's going to be increasing this conversion ratio. If 1,000 people search for coffee maker, I need more people to buy your product than anybody else is on the market.
Now, the purpose of the pre-launch is really to prepare for the actual launch of the product as much as possible.
You're going to be the number one, and that's how we get ranked. That's what drives sales. It's not just sales itself that matters, it's this conversion ratio. So how do we even do that?
I set up what is called a coming soon page.
You need to make sure you're differentiating yourself enough to make money. But after you, let's say you buy 500 of these and you sell them off, or you're halfway through selling them, it's going well. Now you can read your customer comments in the reviews and in the questions on the listing on Amazon and use that to determine how you're going to differentiate your product the next time.
Is immediately once I know the name of my product and maybe I've gotten a logo done for this product, then what I do is
you're focusing on your listing. We need to fix your listing so it looks good. And it's not just looks. Don't get confused that it's looks. It's how the listing reads.
as soon as I know the name of the product, if I have a product image, I put that up there as well. But I want to start building my launch list as early as possible.
There are 3 things we got to do to get this just incredible listing that's going to increase your sales. Okay, first one, we got to have the best first picture ever. Then we got to get incredible title, the first couple bullet points, and the first part of your product description. Okay.
Think about what you could provide even more value to that person that's buying your product. And I especially like to use bonuses maybe during the first week of the product launch, because then I can really drive a lot more sales during that period of time by telling people that I'm only making this a bonus available for this limited time. Press releases are statements of news that are very valuable for marketing, and it's a great opportunity to start doing that during the pre-launch. Try to start getting testimonials in advance, okay? When you can get testimonials for your product as early as possible, it will help you during the launch of your product.
Even if you have to drop the price, get it going, get in the game. Don't keep watching the game. I'm gonna study, that's how you throw a football, and that's how you tackle, and that's how you defend, and this is what this means. No, you'll never learn. You gotta get out there, put on the helmet, start running, get knocked over, get bloodied up, it's okay.
While you're waiting for your product to be developed and the launch of it, you set the branding in a sense. You're gonna set up your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, you're gonna set up your YouTube channel.
You need to partner up with someone who is a little more impulsive, a little more risky, a little more visionary, who will push you off the edge and get you swimming before you figure out exactly how to do every stroke.
Page 1 is where your product needs to be. If your listing is not on page 1, then you're missing out on 80% of your sales. 80% of Amazon customers never even go past page 1 when they're looking for a product. So you need your product to be on page 1, and launching it with a product launch is the most effective way of doing that.
Those have to be phenomenal. They have to get me excited about your product, okay? That's what we should be focusing on. You got to focus on getting customers excited and thinking your product is awesome and how cool it is, instead of what I see a lot of you doing, which is stuffing in keywords thinking that is going to save you. That is not going to save you. That's a terrible idea. So
you need to have a fully optimized Amazon listing. The following steps I'm going to show you is guaranteed to get your product to page 1, but once you get it to page 1, you need it to stay there, and to stay there, you need to get sales.
The number one best feedback you can get for any product you are selling on Amazon is your customer.
So when you first get to page 1, there's one thing you're going to be lacking, and that is reviews. Your product listing is not going to have as many reviews as everyone else, so you need your Amazon listing to stand out.
First thing you need to do is talk about what your product is best at in the title and how great it is.
Now, your Amazon listings consists of several different factors, whether it comes to your title, your bullet points, your product description, your photos, or whether or not you've got enhanced brand content, got a storefront set up. All of these things make a difference. So you want to make sure that you've got really, really professional photos done, some lifestyle images in there, some images that show off the best features of your product. You want a title that is really, really keyword dense. In your bullet points, you want to make sure that you're selling your product, talking about the benefits of the product and not just the features. And in your description, you want to make sure that you're doing exactly the same thing as with your bullet points, so that when shoppers see it on mobile, they're also going to want to buy your product straight away.
The draft or whatever it is, and I try to find people that I can either give the product to for free or at a discounted price, and in exchange for a testimonial.
Is setting up some optimized autoresponder emails. Now, like I said, when you first get your product to page 1, you're not going to have that many reviews, but that is one of the major goals of a product launch. We want to try and get those initial reviews, that initial social proof, so when customers see our Amazon listing, they can see that other customers have bought the product, and we can see what they think of it.
To start attracting people as early as possible.
So setting up some optimized autoresponder emails is the best way of getting the customers that actually receive your product through the product launch to leave those valuable first reviews on our Amazon listing.
How much experience do you have? If you're limited on experience, you don't want to launch 5 products because your chances at something going wrong are greater. I would start with 1 or 2 products that are bundleable.
But a good rule of thumb is you want to be sending out 3 emails. Number 1, you want to send out an email as soon as your customer orders your product. This email is just going to say thanks for the order, introducing yourself, humanizing your brand, and hopefully adding a little bit of additional value.
Every decision you make as a businessman or woman is going to be based on a balancing of your resources: people, time, money, knowledge.
Now there are 2 ways to gain the Amazon search algorithm. And if you know these 2 hacks, then you can do what the pros do, and you can brute force your way into making your product a success.
The number 1 goal that we need to look for when we're launching our product is getting to the front page. Obviously, that is number 1, okay? So our goal once we launch our product is to get to the front page. And what determines that we get to the front page? Sales. In other words, sales velocity, okay? Sales velocity is number 1, and if you have no sales, you will not rank, and if you don't rank, then you will not generate revenue and profit, period, okay? So the perfect product launch will consist of the combination of 3 things, okay? First is getting those initial reviews to have social proof. Number 2 is running giveaways or generating coupon codes to generate sales. And number 3 is PPC, okay, which is Amazon's advertising platform, okay?
You're going to be checking in with your customer, making sure that the product arrived okay, hopefully incentivizing them to get back to you, maybe offer them a 20% discount on an additional purchase, but get them to reply back to you and ask them to actually tell you that they want the discount, because if you can get a customer to reply to one of your emails, the chances of them leaving a review goes up exponentially.
So, like I said earlier during the video, getting your product launch is a combination of multiple things, and in this particular video we're talking about 3 things that you need to absolutely know and do and execute on in order for you to have a perfect product launch. Okay, so when I say getting reviews, we're talking about getting initial reviews at the beginning. So for example, once your product launches, you do not want to start running PPC and you do not want to start doing giveaways until you get those initial reviews, because the problem is that once your products, if you start to do giveaways and run PPC, you're gonna waste money, number 1, because once your product starts to rank, then people aren't gonna, you don't have any social proof on your listing, like you have 0 reviews or maybe you have 1 review, and that's not enough to get people to buy, so you're wasting advertising dollars.
When we launch our product for the keyword that we choose, which is going to be in a couple of steps time, we will launch to page 1 for that particular keyword, but it will also boost our ranking for every other keyword that we're indexed for. So by setting up a low bid manual PPC campaign, this is going to help Amazon realize what our product is and index us for as many keywords as possible. That way, when we actually launch our product for our chosen keyword, we will actually get a boost in ranking for as many other keywords as possible.
As I think about how can I differentiate my product, or how can I make it even more attractive, or pile on the value with it so that I can sell a lot more.
So the 3rd email should come between 5 and 10 days after the product has been delivered to the customer. This is where you're going to actually ask the customer to leave a review. Now, an important thing is, guys, you don't want to just go in with your first couple of emails asking your customer to leave a review.
So again, every time you order a new set of inventory from your supplier, you're going to make that product better every time.
Set up a low bid PPC campaign. Now this wants to be a manual campaign and it wants to be a low bid campaign. Now don't get confused, guys, we're not actually launching our product with PPC. This would just be way too expensive before Amazon's got some crucial data like click-through rate, sale rate, return rate. But what we actually want to use our PPC campaign for is to make sure that Amazon has indexed us for as many keywords as possible.
Don't try to get it all perfect at the beginning. You need to start selling, get your product out there. As long as you differentiate it at least in one way very well, and you've done your research, start selling it.
Set your bid to the suggested bid by Amazon and then decrease it by 50%. This way it's going to be high enough bid to get indexed for these keywords, but it's not going to be costing you a fortune in PPC spend. Your ACoS will be low, and if you do get any sales from this PPC campaign, then it will generally be profitable at that size bid.
Don't sit there with your hands under your butt and analyze until you are mentally constipated. Get selling. As long as you differentiate it in at least one strong way, there's no reason you can't start making money. And in the future, you're going to keep gaining knowledge. You're going to get better. One more thought. The process is fluid. It's growing. It's revolving. It's not like you figure everything out and then you have this massive launch.